Hi, could you tell us a little bit about the topic of your master's thesis?
Yes, I can give a general overview of the topic. By now, as we all know, it's no secret that organizations are operating in a ever increasingly complex and uncertain world, and certainly being able to change to align with the surrounding environment is essential. But without having this full understanding of your organization and the surrounding business environment, it becomes very hard to know, okay, so what do we need to change? And what happens is that you basically risk losing ground to your competitors. And of course, thanks to the internet today, we have managers have access to a plethora of data that can be utilized to exactly increase their understanding of the status quo and how the future of their business could potentially look like, which in theory means that the quality of their decision making improves. However, in reality, this data or information that these managers are seeking is scattered across the whole organization. Some of it sits in various systems. Other times it's stuck in the heads of employees. And many times this knowledge, valuable knowledge, also leaves with the employees when they leave the company because they don't really have a good way to preserve the knowledge.
Exactly. And now let's say in case you are a brave decision maker in your organization and you start gathering all the information you need, there's still various pitfalls waiting for you. So talking to Department A might give you a complete different picture than talking to Department B. And your colleague working with you on the project understands C, and you yourself actually understood D. So everyone involved in a communication process has a different understanding of things and their interrelationships and what is important to them, including you as a decision maker who might subconsciously just try to confirm your truth. So the challenge is the lack of a common understanding and a common language in this case, and one system where it has been agreed that this is our so-called single point of truth. So what was interesting for us now was to explore how a system that aims to tackle these challenges impacts the quality of strategic decision making, especially in respect to the human behavioral aspect of it, respectively the psychological pitfalls that can distort strategic decision making. So what we did was we looked at digital twins and how decisions are made from a theoretical perspective. Then we took our findings and applied the theory to the real world. So in our case, we conducted a multiple case study by examining digital twin of an organization developed by Ortelius and how it is used by their clients.
And building on that passion, why did you choose this topic to write about?
Well, both of us have had a wide interest in the intersection between business, IT, and psychology. More specifically, how and if technology can be utilized to mitigate the before mentioned pitfalls that Dennis talked about before that are so prevalent in decision making. And in literature, they refer to this as cognitive biases. And our basically fundamental belief is that if we talk about humans and digital technology, it's not a discussion about whether what is better or how digital technology can replace humans in any way. It's rather about combining the two and harvesting the strengths of both worlds. And only when we are aware of what makes us humans and what our strengths and weaknesses are, can we get to a point where we can form synergistic partnerships with digital technologies and get better together. And this is also why we called our thesis Joining Forces with a Digital Twin.
Exactly. And I mean, after we started investigating in digital twins, they really appear to be a powerful tool. So the value a digital twin can bring to any sector, whether it is in terms of performance, cost savings, optimization, efficiencies, or other economic benefits, it is often enough encapsulated as basically indisputable, right? And some go as far as call it the innovation backbone of the future. So all in all, that made us want to research further into the subject and shed more light on specifically digital twins of an organization, since they had, according to our findings, not been researched as extensively as other digital twin technologies. So yeah, we identified the research gap here and sought to contribute to academia, even only with a small proportion.
Great, thank you. Thanks for the answer to that question. We loved helping you guys, but what made you reach out to us?
Yeah, so we heard about Ortelius in one of our courses and their close collaboration with our uni, the Lund University School of Management. And we got very curious about your digital twin of an organization. And we will wonder if you guys would be open to work with us during our thesis. So we reached out to you and to Ferdier, and you then invited us to your office, and we talked about your digital twin concept, our research plan, and well, here we are. So I think we can agree that we really had a good and collaborative time. Both of you took the time to explain the concept in general and the logic behind it, and the challenges you are solving for your customers. And well, with our findings, we hope that we were able to also expose your DTO from a different angle and point out to new perspectives.
So thanks for answering why you reached out to us. And now let's get to the juicy bit. What were your findings?
Well, in our research, we discovered a common thread of possible explanations for why, prior to implementing the DTO, these managers or decision makers rather were more prone to various cognitive biases, where they relied on making assumptions in their decision making. More specifically, we saw that they often had, first of all, an incomplete picture of the available and relevant information. But they also had difficulties in understanding these many interrelations of data and like deriving insights from it. And a third challenge was also validating the decision basis, as they often relied on experiences. But it's worth pondering, you know, the risk that infers, as the past is per se not necessarily an accurate predictor of the future. Perhaps maybe in more stable and predictable environments. And the fourth challenge we found was that they did not really have a unified database for the information and lacked this common language across their organization.
So in terms of the implications, we found that a digital twin of an organization holding the same or similar attributes to the one from Ortelius can help relieve these problems in basically 5 distinct ways. First, by presenting data and information in a visualized way, which basically eases the information processing. Second, providing a holistic overview of all elements and their interrelations. Third, creating the space where managers can forecast and experiment with different outcomes using the simulation capabilities. 4, capturing knowledge that was previously only locked in other people's head. And 5, providing a common database that allows speaking the same language, which grants basically cross-departmental visibility. And to put briefly, we found that these capabilities of a digital twin of an organization serve as the enablers to make better informed strategic decisions.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that that as with every research, it's not possible to focus on every aspect of a topic, and our findings cannot therefore be ruled as definitive. But we would love to see more research on specifically DTOs in connection to strategic decision making.
Great to hear the summary. Thanks everyone for your time.